Today I'm going to be making a vase, and I'm going to be doing it with yellow resin pigment paste, and I'll use a couple of alcohol inks in the orange. I'm using a fast curing resin by eParency because I'm going to need to put this on the former in about 4 to 5 hours. So I've got my mix ready. I'll mix that for about 3 minutes, and there's about 400 grams there, 430 grams. So we'll see how we go with that to start off with. So I'm going to just be placing a little bit of this gorgeous yellow paste, which I absolutely adore, into here. It's a very opaque and vivid colour. I might put a little bit more. I can feel that this is already heating up. I've been making other things today as well, and this has been sitting for a little while, so it's actually not as opaque as I thought. It's actually, I might just give it a stir. It looks a little bit more, maybe I need to use a little bit more. I don't really want it too transparent. Okay, so let's go with pouring this. Look how beautiful that colour is. I think I've got enough. I don't want it too thick when I'm making something like this, but I don't want it too thin that it breaks when you put it on the former and it stretches a bit. With the heat gun, it's not a torch, it's a heat gun, this one. I sometimes use a torch as well. But I think the heat gun will remove those bubbles. There weren't many bubbles. And I'm thinking of adding something around the edges. So let me just have a look and I'll be back. I thought some of these little flowers might be pretty if they don't disappear into the yellow, but let's see what happens. Might just put a couple around the edges. Go, 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 go. Don't stay there. I'll have to move it with a toothpick, I think. I might try with my fingers. They're very delicate and you have to handle them carefully or they'll break into pieces. You can get them from Temu, or I'm sure AliExpress or Amazon would have them as well. I think I got these from Temu. Okay, that's enough. Oh, I might put one in the middle. And I hope you can hear me okay. I always forget to put the mic on. Because I get so busy. and focusing, concentrating. And, okay, now what am I going to do with the alcohol inks? Just to add a little bit more colour, some of these orange ones. So we might just go down I'm not really doing it in any particular order here, so I hope it turns out okay. They'll pull, as it dries out, they'll pull in and hopefully form a nice little pattern. I don't know whether I should just pull it in a little bit here. It's a little bit uneven, it almost looks like it should be more. Trying to balance it up a little bit. Okay, we'll leave it, and I'll come back when it's hopefully dry enough to put on the former. I'm going to be doing a base for this as well, so I may need to make up some more. Don't know whether to do that today or just leave it and wait. See how this turns out first. And yeah, okay, bye, we'll see you later. Hi, I'm back. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening, so this has been drying for about 6 hours, and it does pull away from the side. So now the trick with making anything like this, a bowl or a vase, is to make sure it's not tacky to touch, but still soft enough to mould. So it's a little bit of guesswork. So I'm just not sure now. I've got this lovely pattern. The flowers, see how they all came in with the alcohol inks? They all merged into the centre because the alcohol inks are very light and the resin is heavier. So they gravitate towards the centre. So if I make a vase, do I have that on the inside so I don't lose it, or do I have it on the outside? Because I'm going, if I put it on coasters, little coasters, I'm going to lose that centre bit. So should I have it on the inside so you can see it, or should I make a bowl? I have made a bowl before. I've made a few bowls, and that's one that I've just done recently with the same mould. So that's how big that would be. If I turn it upside down, and it's not going to, I might turn it into a bowl. I might make a bowl. That's my bowl that I set it in. I'll give that a wipe. Because I'm just not sure that it's going to work as well. I think if I do a vase, I'm going to do it freeform next time, so I can make it bigger, and it has a plastic underneath, so it is easier. Whereas if I try and put that on the former now, it might not work. I know I think as I go, so I apologise for that. It all is just, you know, touch and go all the time as to what we do. So see, it's fairly thick too. I think if I was going to do a vase, I don't know that I'd want it that thick. See, I probably want it a little bit thinner. Oh, okay. Now I've got to make sure I centre it. Because once it's in there, it's virtually impossible to move. Yeah, the back of it, underneath it hasn't got, I think this is the right move, because if I tried to make it into a vase underneath, and I use that for the inside, the underneath part isn't very flash, so let's see if we can just gently geez, it doesn't look bad, like a little plate either. That makes a beautiful plate like that. Maybe instead of doing a bowl, again, that's what I would have ended up with if I press it all the way down. But maybe what I'll do is make it into a lovely platter, fruit platter. And I'm not going to play with it too much. I think that would be really nice. It's very pretty. Do you have this problem that when you're doing resin stuff, do you fiddle? It's a matter of knowing when to stop, isn't it? Now, I don't think that will just drop to the bottom on its own, because it's firm enough to sit here, I think. And it's pretty with the little scalloped edges. I just have to make sure that I've got it fairly well balanced, and I think I have, so that when it sits down, it's got a nice flat bottom. And the other thing I'm hoping it doesn't do is end up drooping too much. It might. Okay, we'll see how that turns out tomorrow. And hopefully it doesn't droop and go stupid on me. At the moment, I'm sort of liking it. Creasing a little bit over here. This started off as a vase, and then it was going to be a platter, and that didn't work because it started to flop. So I turned it into a bowl. I'm going to make a base for it, so it sits nice and flat and has a little bit more appeal. Okay, I've got my resin, and I'm going to do a couple of little coasters to put underneath this gorgeous little bowl that I've made. And that'll create a little bit of a stand for it. So I've got the same colour, the yellow, and a couple of alcohol inks. So this is a nifty little idea for those of you who like to try something a bit different. So I'll just turn that around and mix that in. It's a beautiful day here, and I can hear my husband in the background doing some cleaning in the yard and cutting some of the hedges back. Might just put a tiny bit more. I think he's whippersnipping at the moment. No, every time I'm doing things on a Saturday that happens, but he's got to do his stuff too, I guess. I'm not complaining, the yard always looks beautiful after he's done it. Okay, I think we'll only just do 2, and I won't fill them right up to the top. I might have to do 3. I've got more here, but I can, if I don't want to use it for the bowl, I can use it for something else. I mixed up almost 300 grams here. Now, got our little alcoholings here. Actually, I might just give it a little bit of a blow first. Get rid of the air bubbles. Just a few little bits of orange alcoholing so that it has the same little vibe going for it. Okay. So we shall leave those to dry, and then when they're finished, I will be placing them under my bowl and gluing them together with the resin. After quite a few days actually. You would have seen I put some UV resin around the edge of that, and it actually was quite sticky, so I put it in a bowl of water out in the sunlight whenever I could, and it's a lot better. So, oh, there's a fly, go away. So that's a little trick you can use if you do find your UV resin is a bit sticky. I think it was because it was the coloured one. I don't know. I haven't had the problem with the clear one. So if it's still a little bit sticky, I might even just put a clear on the top, just to make sure that yeah. But at the moment it feels pretty good actually. So I'm ready to do my base, and these little coasters have dried well. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use 2 or 3. But what the idea is that we place them on here. And we've got to stick them all together, so I'm not sure if 2 might be enough, or whether I should do 3 just to give it a... I might do the 3. I think it might. See if I can show you. But the thing I've got to do is make sure they're all even, and that I don't have excess resin, because once it starts to drip, it's a nightmare. So let's go. Two fit quite smoothly there. I don't know whether maybe I should just do two. I think I might leave the third one. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of I'm going to be doing the two smooth edges instead of this one, which has got the lip, which probably would have been better to have like that. I guess I could have that one on the bottom. You're not going to see this one too much by the time that sits on it. Tricky, but I think we're going to have to go with that. So I've got some fast curing resin mixed up here. I wonder if I should have just put a double glue to, I'm just worried it's going to drip, that's all. Well, I'll just have to not put too much. That is what I'm going to have to do, is just I think what I'm going to have to do is dry this first and then come back and put just so it doesn't slip slop around. So I will have to leave you for the moment and we'll do that. So on this Melbourne Cup day, we've got a public holiday today, and I've mixed up a little bit of resin. But just so you know, my husband just rang me and said there's a snake under the house. The young boy next door saw it go under our house. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. I should stay right away from it, I think. My goodness. I just went in and made sure the toilet seat was down. I don't know if they come up through the toilet at all, but I'm not risking it. Gosh. All right, so I can't do anything about it. I said I'm in the middle of something, and this is important. I've got my bowl and I've got this and it's dried. I did that this morning. I put some fast curing resin on it and it's beautifully even. It did drip a little bit, but the drips are gone now. I've wiped them away before they set. So now I'm ready to put this on. And my bowl is a little bit lopsided, but it does sit very well on this. So I'm going to now pop my glue on it, and not glue, but the resin. I'm still thinking about that snake. So yeah, we're in Australia, folks, and it's getting warm. The weather's starting to heat up, and there have been a lot of snake sightings lately. I only mixed up at 17 grams. It's probably even that's too much, because I do not want this to spread too much. It has got a lip, so before it didn't have a lip because I put the two backs together. So I'm hoping this will go well. So here we go. So for now, bye. I'll stay away from the snake, I promise, and hope it goes away. Cheerio.